everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope today's been treating you well. In today's video, I'm in my new filming room. You haven't seen any of the declutters, any of the moving vlogs, any of the setting up vlogs, anything for this new space. They will all be coming next week, but I am in my new filming room and I wanted to get this video filmed, edited, uploaded, all in the same day so that you have it. Because otherwise I would be so late to the party. I literally got this delivered and came straight upstairs and started playing with it. So we're diving into the new Beauty Bay Botanical palette today. The new £16 palette from Beauty Bay has arrived. She is called Botanical and we are swatching. We are creating an eye look. We are doing the whole thing, playing with the new palette today. And if you want to win one, I have got another one to give away to one of you lovely lot. So if you want to win Botanical for yourself or for a friend, if you already have it, you just need to leave a comment down below. All comments are entered into the giveaway. You just need to leave your Instagram handle somewhere in the comment, but don't put the little @ sign or YouTube flags it as spam and it won't show it to me. So if you want to enter the giveaway, be sure to be subscribed to me. Hi, I'm Millie. I post at least 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday, but it's always more often than that because I get overexcited about makeup. So be sure to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Like I say, all comments will be entered and you just need to have your little @ but without the @ sign. Your Instagram handle but without the @ sign somewhere in the comments, and I will be sending one of you lovely lot the Botanical palette and also a bundle of other Beauty Bay goodies because I have been collecting for a little while some of my favourite things. Like when I've been restocking my collection, I have been buying extra little Beauty Bay goodies. So we've got the Botanical palette, but there's also some extra little things in there as well. So if you want to win that, just leave a comment down below. Everybody will be entered, but let's get into the swatches and creating this eye look. I hope you enjoy. This is what the palette looks like. She is beautiful. And then inside, let me just get rid of that. Inside, this is what all of the shades look like. Now, I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw all of the sneak peeks and the looks that they were creating on their Instagram and everything, I was thinking that this was potentially going to be a little bit more green. Like, we only have 2 matte greens and then we've got 2 shimmery greens and everything else is like a nudie, sort of corally peachy. We've got a few hints of purple. We've got a whole sort of quad down here that's grey. That doesn't feel very botanical to me. What do you think? But that just doesn't really feel very botanical, sort of down in this bottom corner. Everything else, absolutely. Some of these are duochromes. Okay, Beauty Bay. I wasn't expecting that. That waterfall shade on the top there, can you see? This one here, if I try and... It's quite hard to tell because obviously I've got like a lot of lights in front of me, but that looks really pretty. I might have to use that one. So anyway, I'm going to get into some swatches and then I'm going to be creating some sort of probably quite green eye look. I do love a green. I am biased because I do love a green, but I was expecting a little bit more green. Anyone else, or is that just me? So let's zoom in and we can do the swatches. So first up on the top row, we have got a matte nude shade, basically exactly the same tone as my skin, but very, very useful for blending something out. If you had a deeper skin tone, that would make a really nice matte inner corner, just like a plain ivory cream sort of a shade, and that one is called Lily. Then we have got the dark matte green. And this one is called Myrtle. And for the mattes, I will be doing a few sort of swatches, a few little dips, because my skin is very dry and I don't have any sort of primer or anything on my skin. But that is a beautiful, deep matte green. What more can I say? Then we've got that one that I said looked like a duochrome. So let's see what this one looks like. This one is called Waterfall. Ooh, that's pretty. That's like a lilac-y light blue, and when it catches the light, that's got like a gold reflect to it. That's a really unique shade. I don't think I have anything quite like that in my collection. Then we have another matte, and this one is called Mushroom, and this is almost like a cool toned, grey toned brown. Sort of taupe, would you say? I'm so bad at describing colours, but that's a really beautiful, just like transition-y tone. Then we have got Lightning, which looks like a shimmer. Yeah. I'm not really getting botanical. Maybe I'm reading too much into the name, but that's like a really bright silver. It's called Lightning, so it really is that sort of bright, icy, lightning sort of shade. Very, very pretty, but just not overly botanical feeling. Then we have got Matcha, and this is a very, very light pastel, almost like a sagey green. I suppose the colour of matcha, if we're going to be particular about it. But very, very light. Doesn't have the same oomph as if you have the Beauty Bay Pastels palette that they no longer do. It doesn't have the same amount of impact as that one, like as that palette, because I feel like in that palette they are white, like behind the pigment. I suppose that one is a little bit, but it's not showing up as much as I maybe thought it would. Then next up we have Artichoke. Ooh, that is the shimmer formula that I expect from Beauty Bay. So pigmented and so blinding. Like, that's obviously, it's a green, but it's got a like a warmth to it, like a golden reflect to it. That's really pretty. Then we have got Sea Moss, which is another matte. See, and that's more pigmented. And that's like a corally, peachy, almost like a light terracotta sort of a shade. I love that. These sort of warm tones on blue eyes, I absolutely love. Then the next one is called Savannah, and this one is another shimmer. Yep, and that's pretty too. It's almost like a nude shimmer. I feel like that's not showing up as much as it is in real life because it's basically the same colour as my skin, but that's really pretty. Almost like a rosy undertone and really reflective. I love that one. So then the last one on the second row, this one is called Eggplant, and this is the darkest shade in the palette. I actually quite like that there isn't a matte black, because as much as a matte black is useful, I feel like you could absolutely deepen something up with Eggplant, and it would add that like purpley warm richness to a look, rather than a black that's just going to be sort of monotone. That's really pretty. That was like a smoky wing, again on blue eyes. We love. Then onto the third row we have got Ripple. That's like matching my nails perfectly. But again, botanical, it's a grey. How many grey flowers and plants and in nature, how much grey do you see? I feel like not a lot. And Then we've got another grey. This one is a matte and this one is called Pebble. Very, very light matte, so I will do a few layers of this one. So that's a few layers of Pebble just there. Very, very light. Like, very, very light. I don't personally love greys. I don't personally love cool tones on myself. I just feel like I suit warmer tones better. So these like grey tones aren't going to be for me, but I appreciate that for some people who absolutely love cool tones and greys, etc., you'll absolutely get the use out of this one. Then, what have we got next? Canyon. Canyon could be a duochrome as well, and this is definitely more of my shade. Yep. Canyon is beautiful. So like Canyon, and what was this one? Sea Moss. That's an eye look right there. You don't even have to think about that. Where that's like catching the light as well, and I hope it's showing up on camera, but where that's catching the light, that's almost got like a hot pink glitter in it. Where it's that like corally shade, but then when it's catching the light, that is beautiful. Then we have got Oak. I do agree, Oak should be in a botanical themed palette. A nice neutral deep brown. Then we have got another shimmer, and this one is called Amazon. More of a satin feeling, so it has got a reflect to it, but you can see the difference between Amazon and Artichoke, where Artichoke has a brightness to it, where Amazon is more just very lightly reflective. Again, useful, a very useful shade to have those sort of different textures, I feel like. I like the nice bright blinding shades. Honestly, I would just have a whole palette of the shimmer shades from Beauty Bay because I think they're fantastic. But I do like that we've got some different textures in there. Then on to the last row, we have got a matte, slightly deeper grey, and this one is called Ash. Almost got a little bit of a brown in that. I don't feel like it's a straight up cool toned grey, it's more neutral feeling, which makes it feel a little bit more wearable to someone like me. Then we have got Fall. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. That is really pretty. That's almost like a rose gold sort of a colour, but not too straight up on the rose, but also it's not just a gold. Like, that's got such an interesting undertone, and again, I don't think I've got anything like that in my collection. Then we have got Clay, which is a matte. I love a shade like this, like a red toned brown, but matte, like so useful. Again, you could absolutely, for more of an everyday look, you could absolutely use something like that to like deepen up on the outer corner, and that would absolutely be deep enough. But you could go deeper and smokier if you wanted to. Then the last two, we have got Quartz, which again is a duochrome. So that's almost like when it's not catching the light, that's like a grey. Can you see that there? Where it's not in the light. And then when it catches the light, it's got the most incredible pink reflect. Yeah, you can see that, can't you? That's beautiful. I'm gonna have to use that one. As much as I wanted to use the greens. I mean, I can use the green on that. I can make that work. And then the last shade is Dune, like sand dune. And that's a slightly browny toned nude for my skin tone. My perfect transition. Absolutely perfect transition tone for my skin tone. So if I shuffle back a little bit, that is what all of the shades are looking like. I'm amazed, honestly. I wasn't expecting duochromes. Was anybody else expecting duochromes? I really was not expecting that. I do still feel like this chunk minus this pinky one could have been more greens. But I love a green, and I appreciate that this is like a very wearable, slightly colourful leaning palette. Like a lot of people could use this. I like colour, I like a lot of colour, so this feels very muted to me. This almost feels, I feel like, autumnal, because it's like deeper, muddy, grey, cool tones, rather than like I would have expected for a summer palette it to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more intense. Does anybody else, like, do you see what I mean by that? Where like a lot of them are more like muddier undertones, and I could absolutely use brighter pops of something in summer. I appreciate that not everybody wants really, really bright colours. I like it, it's just not necessarily what I was expecting from a summer release. So I'm going to tap out the creases in the eye primer that I've already got on. It is the Beauty Bay one, and I've already got my brows on. Couldn't tell you what it is because I've just got all of my brow products out on my table and I just grabbed. And it was a little while ago, so I've already forgotten. Let me grab some brushes and then we can create some sort of eye look. Okay, so I'm going to start with a fluffy brush. Also, none of my brushes are clean, because like I say, I've been moving. I've had other things on my mind. So literally none of my brushes are clean. They are all stained, but I have just wiped them off on a towel so that they are not like, they don't have any product on them. So I'm going to start with that Dune shade, that last one that we swatched right down on my elbow, which is basically my perfect transition, and I'm going to wiggle this through my crease. As always, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing or what sort of a look I want to create. I think I want to use that quartz shade. I think I want to go more purpley today. I mean, who saw that coming? I always want the purples. But I think I am going to do, ages and ages ago, I did a series on my channel called 3 Looks With. I did 3 looks with a red lipstick, I did 3 looks with a blue eyeliner, I did 3 looks with, I can't remember what else. But I think I'm going to start that up again because I could absolutely do 3 completely different looks with this palette. And I also want to do 3 different looks with the new Cosmic Brushes palettes, because obviously I've got them. I've got the reviews on my channel already if you want to see them. But I want to play with them more, and I want to try and create completely different looks. And I think that you would find that useful. So let me know, is that something you would find useful? I'm going to do it anyway. But that is what I'm going to do. So, as I suspected, that colour is my perfect transition. It's just slightly darker than my skin tone. Slightly, I was supposed to say slightly warmer, but it's not. It is quite neutral. So I feel like that is my perfect transition. I'm going to go in with a much smaller fluffy brush. Again, it's stained, we're not talking about it, and I'm going to go into clay because I really like ready toned browns, only with a very small amount of that, and I'm going to keep that further into the crease. And then once I have pretty much laid all of that colour down, I was going back in with the first brush just to like blend over the top. I really like that clay shade though. That is for me, for like an everyday look, I'm not necessarily doing an everyday look today, but for an everyday look, that is absolutely a nice deep outer corner shade. I really, really like that. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Because like I say, I don't think we're going every day today. So we can play. And I feel like that clay shade is blending in to Dune really nicely. Like, because they're quite a similar undertone, sort of, but obviously one's lighter and one's darker. They are blending together beautifully. So I'm just going to use that same brush and I'm going to dip into Eggplant, that darkest purple, and I'm going to keep that on the lid on the outer corner. So that's the deepest, darkest shade, and that is pretty. So then just to blend that in, I'm going in with a little bit more of that clay shade, just to sort of wiggle over the edges of that. But I love a purple outer corner rather than a black. I just feel like that looks warmer and also more interesting than a black. Like, black is just monotone. Like, that's the only way that I can think to describe it, where the purple adds a really nice warmth. I really like how that's looking, so I'm just going to go back in with that first brush again. No more colour, but just to make sure all of the edges are real nice and soft, which they are. Then, I do Quartz on the outer corner with a bit of Canyon on the inner corner. Yeah, why not? I'm just going to use my finger because I feel like duochromes and shades like that just apply better with a finger rather than a brush. Yeah, that's really pretty. Like, it's dark and like almost smoky. Like, you could put that all over the lid and blend it out with something and that would be really nice and deep and smoky. I really, really like that shade. Then I'm just going to use, oh, I don't want to use Savannah because that's brighter. No, I do think I want that pinky one. Let's just do it. Like I say, I'm going to be doing more looks with this palette because I just think there's so many different ways you could go with it. So I'm just taking a little bit of Canyon and I'm going to put that further into the inner corner and tap over where those two shimmers join. Yes, that's really pretty. Those colours go together really nicely as well, like the peach with the purple. Beautiful. And then one last blend over the top of all of that. I am thrilled with how those shimmers look. But again, do I necessarily think that it's botanical? No. Like, I'm not looking at this on my eyes and thinking, yeah, flowers, leaves, botanical, you know? Almost, you know, natural, nature, yes. Botanical, that's where I'm like, I'm getting hung up on the botanical and thinking that it's got to have green and leaves and flowers. I feel like I'm missing the mark a little bit though. But that's just me in my head. It's just a me problem. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that Eggplant shade because I feel like we've lost that dark purple on the outer corner. Obviously, I'm going to be cleaning this up and adding a wing because it's me. But just wanted a little bit more purple on the outer corner. Let's really darken it up. I do want to just add a little bit of that Savannah shade because I think out of all of the shimmers, that's probably one of the only ones that I could use as an inner corner. So I've got a tiny little pencil brush And I'm going to just take a little bit of that on there and tap it right onto the inner corner of the lid. Obviously when I've done the rest of the face, I'll probably put this right on the inner corner as well, but just to brighten it up a little bit, just a little. So I'm happy with how that's looking, apart from that little section there that I just noticed is not really blended at all. I start my sentence and then I realise actually I'm not happy with how that looks. So I've got a cotton pad with some micellar water on, and I'm just going to clean up under the eyes. Obviously I'll do my eyes before the rest of my face, and also sharpening up that outer corner, like instantly. That just looks so much better, doesn't it? Oh, it's honestly one of my favourite steps, sharpening up that outer corner. It just makes it look like you've really, you know, taken your time and you've really been quite precise with where you're blending everything now. You just clean it up. Just clean it up afterwards. So much easier than just trying to be careful, because there's absolutely no way. So I am going to go ahead and add a wing. I am going to add probably quite a bit of mascara. I'm going to do the rest of my face, and then we can come back and do something under the eyes, because I don't know what I want to do. Maybe that like coral, maybe, I don't know. Let me do the rest of my face and then we can decide together. How about that? Okay, so that is everything else on the face. Just reference so that you know, and so that I know. What else have I got on? I've got the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I wear this in 15, Fair Warm. I have the new Made by Mitchell Concealer, the lighter one in LBR 3, just right into my eyes and nowhere else, because this is very, very light, but it works like for right in there. Then for like the colour products on my face, I've got the 17 Glow and Define Bronzer in 010, the MUA Blushed Matte Powder Blush in Dusky Rose, and the Revolution Diamond Glow Highlighter. Just a little bit right on the top. The liner is the 17 one, of course, the only liquid liner basically that I ever use, and the lashes are the Essence Lash Like a Boss mascara, and that is you all caught up. I do need some sort of lip product, but I will do that in a minute. I want to finish up under the eyes. And what do I want to do? What am I feeling like? Maybe the purple on the outer corner, and then that more corally colour. Ooh, this one further in to like tie in with the corally colour on the lid. Like I say, don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to take that same really, really small brush that I used for the purple on the lid, and I'm going to just tap a little bit of that right next to the lash line on the outer half-ish. And I will smoke it out with that corally shade called Sea Moss. So I'll just take another really small fluffy brush, just a cleaner one, and I'll tap that Sea Moss shade further in, and also just buff over the edge of that purple so that it softens that down a little bit. Yeah, I like those two together. Yeah, happy with that. I'm going to go back in with that really small brush for my inner corner, back into Savannah, and tap that right onto the inner corner. Yeah, it's a slightly pinker tone than what I usually use for an inner corner, but that absolutely works. So let me go ahead and add some mascara onto the lower lashes, some sort of lip product. I'll probably go and grab one of my Beauty Bay lip liners, and then we are done. Yeah, just gonna go in with a little bit of Chai lip liner. I've already got a lip balm on, so I just want a little bit more definition. Need to find them again. Done. We're done. Do let me know what you think. I feel like this is definitely not the look I thought I was going to go for like I say, with a palette called Botanical. I definitely thought I was going to go more green, but I suppose we've gone sort of pink, sort of flowery shades rather than leafy shades. Just not necessarily what I was expecting, but let me know what you think. I love how this has turned out, despite the fact I was expecting to be doing greens today. Let me zoom you out. I'm just tapping a little bit more blush onto like the centre. I feel like something about my lights is throwing me off a little bit, but I've got new lights, we're in a new setup, I'm really close to a window now, so I feel like the lighting is a little bit off, but I hope you found this useful. And I think there's going to be a new video every single day next week with all of the declutters and moving videos to get me into this room. We're going a little bit backwards, forwards, upside down, inside out, but let me know what you think of this look. I like the finished look. Is this necessarily my favourite Beauty Bay palette? I'm not certain. I'm not certain that it is. I am at some point going to be doing a ranking video, ranking every single Beauty Bay palette that I have. And I've got quite a lot of them. So it's going to be quite a mammoth video, but we're going to be diving into it all. Colour story, the ratio of mattes to shimmers, all of that stuff, going to be diving into all of that and deciding which palette is my favourite from Beauty Bay. I am also going to be doing that for Cosmic Brushes once I've had a little bit more time to play with the Botanical palette for the Beauty Bay, and also Culturals and Neutrals. I'm going to be doing that ranking video, so if you want to see those, subscribe down below. They will be coming as soon as I've had a little bit more time to play with them. Also, let me know what you think of the new filming room. It's chaos here, but let me know what you think. And if you want to enter that giveaway, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and also your Instagram handle with the little @ sign removed. Don't include that or YouTube will flag it as spam and it won't post the comment, so I won't be able to see it, so you won't be entered. But all comments will be entered down below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I post at least 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. It's always affordable and it's always cruelty free, and there's always more videos than those 3 a week because I get overexcited about makeup. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.